Hey everyone, welcome back to FunVibeLabTV. We're telling this story with real verified sources in the description below. Check them out, like, subscribe, and let's grow together. Okay, let's get into it. Let me tell you about the day in September 1950 when the US military turned San Francisco into an unwitting testing ground for biological warfare vulnerability, and almost no one knew about it for decades. This was Operation Sea Spray, a top-secret Navy experiment during early Cold War fears of enemy attacks on American cities. From September 20 to 27, 1950, a small Navy minesweeper sat 2 miles offshore from the Golden Gate Bridge and released massive clouds of aerosolized bacteria into the wind. The chosen bacteria were Serratia marcescens, with its bright red pigment for easy tracking, and Bacillus globigii, both considered harmless at the time. Serratia was seen as just a food contaminant causing red spots on bread, nothing dangerous. The goal was to test how easily a large coastal city could be covered by a biological agent from the sea, mimicking a foreign attack. They set up 43 monitoring stations across the city and suburbs to collect airborne particles. The results were shocking. Bacteria spread up to 23 miles inland, and nearly all 800,000 Bay Area residents inhaled at least 5,000 particles each, a dose similar to what anthrax might need to infect if it had been used. Picture going about your day, breathing in thousands of these microbes unknowingly while commuting, working, or walking the foggy streets. With no idea, an invisible cloud was deliberately released over you and your family. The test was deemed successful for showing urban vulnerability, with no follow-up medical plan since the bacteria were thought safe. But soon after, on the 11th of October 1950, 11 patients arrived at Stanford Hospital with rare Serratia marcescens urinary tract infections. 10 recovered, but 7-5-year-old Edward J. Nevin, recovering from prostate surgery, did not. The infection spread to his heart valve, and he died 3 weeks later. This was the first documented Serratia outbreak in the area, baffling doctors who noted the red pigmented colonies in samples. Pneumonia cases also rose, though no direct link was proven officially. Nevin's family always suspected the military spray, given the perfect timing and matching bacteria, but causation was hard to prove in court. The operation remained classified for over 25 years, until mid-1970s. Senate hearings on human experimentation revealed not just sea spray, but over 239 similar open-air tests from 1949 to 1969 across U.S. cities, subways, airports, and terminals. Nixon ended offensive bioweapons research in 1969, and the U.S. signed the 1972 Biological Weapons Convention. But the disclosures stunned the public. In 1981, Nevin's grandson, lawyer Edward Nevin III, sued the government for 67 family members, claiming negligence and seeking damages for wrongful death and harm. Experts testified the sprayed strain likely matched Nevin's infection. The government claimed sovereign immunity under the Federal Tort Claims Act, saying the test decision was protected. Judge Samuel Conti ruled for the government in 1981. No definitive proof of causation, upheld on appeal, and the Supreme Court declined review in 1983. No compensation was paid, but the case exposed the lack of consent, warnings, and ethics in using populations as test subjects for national security. Sea spray was part of a larger 2-decade program testing germ dispersal in urban areas. Today, Serratia is known as an opportunistic pathogen, causing serious infections in vulnerable people. Some speculate the release may have influenced later rare infections. The haunting hidden detail. The government exposed nearly 1 million Americans to an experimental biological cloud without consent. A man died suspiciously linked. His family lost in court up to the Supreme Court, and no one was held accountable. No apology for sea spray specifically, only revealed through declassifications in journalism. Next time you hear about government transparency in health matters, remember San Francisco 1950. They turned a whole city into a petri dish once and faced no real consequences. That's the true story of Operation Sea Spray, backed by declassified documents and records you can verify. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below. See you next time.